I made this short film without filming anything.
That's not possible.
You won't get another chance. Go to the place we used to go.
I haven't been there in years. I didn't know who sent it, or why now. But it felt real.
I'm here. I don't see anyone. I knew that face, even if it shouldn't be there.
Yeah, none of that was shot in real life. It was all created using Artlist Studio. So Artlist Studio is basically an AI tool that allows you to create full cinematic shots. And they do that by allowing you to create characters, environments, lighting, camera settings. So instead of trying to just describe something and then have AI create it, this actually allows you to build the whole scene that you want for your particular shot or your film or whatever it might be that you're working on. So as you jump into Artlist Studio here, one of the most important things you can do is plan out what you want to create. And that's going to include things like designing your character, coming up with prompts for what the location is going to look like, and the kind of style of camera or shot that you might want to have. So I created this little Word document right here where I have character prompts in here and location prompts. I wanted an apartment, a street, a park, and I put in little descriptions of what I wanted that to look like. So I'm basically just going to take my descriptions here, paste them into the Artlist Studio here, and then I'm going to create these environments and characters so that way I can use them in my AI videos that I'm going to create. So let's just jump into Artlist Studio here and I'll show you how it works. So I'm going to start a new project. We're going to call this Amazing AI, and I'm just going to click Create a Project. Now, once you jump in there, this is what you're going to see. And the first thing I started doing was creating those characters and locations. And to do that, it's pretty simple. You just come up to these little icons right here, and I want to add a character. Now, I can look through and choose a character that's already made. There's tons of them. Or I can go ahead and create a new character by clicking the new character right here. And then all I have to do is paste my description into here, and I can either leave it as it is, or I can have the prompt enhanced if you want. You're going to do that. And then once you have your description in there the way you want it to be, you just hit this icon right here, and it's going to go ahead and generate a character for you. Now, if I just show you the character I created for my short film, he's right here. I didn't name him. He's untitled character. So if I click on him, I can say view and edit, or if I was just going to add him to my project, I could just add it to the project. But the way it works is that I created the first image, and then it gives you the option to create multiple angles of your character. So that way, if you have different angles you want to show of the character in a scene, you've got those angles created in AI already. And I mean, it looks real to me, right? You can't tell the difference. You can also select a voice for your character. Here's the one that I use, controlled and calm.
Here's a sample of my voice. Listen to get a feel for my tone, texture, subtle nuance.
But you can pick whichever one that you like. And then once you're happy with it, you just go ahead and say use in project. And you can make as many characters as you need to. Next, you want to add the location. So you can go ahead and type in different locations. You can see here I've got my park, my city, and my apartment. Those are the ones that I created for the little short film that you saw, but there's stuff that's already created that you can use, or you can create your own, depends on what you need. So let's pick one of the ones that's already created here. Let's just say the underground, and I'm going to say use in project. So now I have my character up here and I have my location. So anything I type in here is going to use my character and this location to create a scene. And first, it's going to start by creating an image. So you're going to work on the framing section here, and you're going to type in a description or what you want the scene to look like. And if you want, you can change your angle, shot type, lighting, and number of images that get created right down here, or you can just leave them as they are, and they usually stay on auto. So let's just say I put in a description, something like this. So I'm going to say a wide angle of, I want my character. So if you hit the @ sign, and then it's going to show you the things that you have in your project. I'm going to say my untitled character. I'm going to say wide angle of my character walking down the platform, starting to run for the train, fill the platform with people. And now I can also come up here and select the different kinds of options I want to use as far as which AI model I want to use. what resolution, what aspect ratio, what camera, and what lens. So I could use the Arri 65, I can use the Red, I can use an iPhone, a VHS recorder. So let's say I want to use the Red, and let's go with an anamorphic lens just for fun. And then we're going to go ahead and hit the little arrow here, and it's going to cost me 300 credits. All these things work on credits, and it's going to go ahead and generate that image for me. So here we have our image, and okay, maybe it looks a little weird because the people are in front of the train, right? That looks a little odd. But we can always adjust the prompt and have it make another image that's going to look similar, and it's great because we're always going to have the same character in the same location, which is important because in the past with AI models, it's like the character would change, the scene might not look exactly the same, but this will keep everything the same for you. So I'm just going to add to the prompt, fill the platform with people, but don't have any on the tracks or in front of the train. So I'm just going to go ahead and do it again. So here's our fixed up image here. Now you notice it kind of flipped it, and that's okay because I'm trying to come up with the first image I want to start with. And it always starts as an image, and then we go ahead and we animate it. So we go from the framing section here, and we like this shot. That looks pretty good. So I want to click Start Frame. And this is going to be the first frame of my video. So next I want to come to the directing section here. And this is where I put in whatever I want to happen in the video clip. I could select how long I want the clip to be. Let's say I'm just going to make it 5 seconds. We can choose what kind of motion we want. You can dolly in, zoom in, tilt. You pick whatever you want to happen for your shot. If you're going to have any dialogue, you can use your character voice that you chose when you created your character or an auto-generated voice. And you can also select how many videos it'll make. So I'm going to keep it on one video. So you can see right here, it's telling you what to do. Describe the scene's action, including how the actors move, act, and speak. So I'm going to put in a little prompt here. So here's my prompt I came up with. The character is running down the platform fast and stops in front of the camera and realizes he missed the train. The train goes speeding by without stopping. The character says, and in order to have it create dialogue, you just put it in quotes and it'll create it for you. Oh man, I guess I was just a few minutes too late. I'll have to wait for the next one. And I made it a little longer, 7 seconds. That should be good enough. Maybe I'll try the text enhance and see what it does here. I'm going to just copy all this just in case. All right, that looks good. And I'm going to go ahead and hit create. And if you don't like the way the animation comes out the first time, you can always make an adjustment with the text and then rerun it again. So it's pretty flexible and it will keep the same scene, keep the same characters, which is a huge bonus because I feel like you weren't able to keep the same elements in an AI video in the past. Now, how long it takes to create each individual scene is going to be based on how long the clip is that you want to create and the resolution and that kind of stuff. So it could take a minute or it could take several minutes depending on what you're trying to create. But one of the cool things is that you don't have to sit here and wait and watch it process and create the scene. You can move out and go on and do something else and it'll still continue to create this in the background. And then you'll have it when it's ready, but you don't have to sit there and wait for it. All right, so that clip is now animated. Let's check it out and see what it looks like. So I'm just going to click the play button right here.
Oh man, guess I was just a few minutes too late. I'll have to wait for the next one.
All right, not too bad, right? It looks a little weird as it flips there, right? So I might just need to adjust the prompts a little bit, but it got the mind sound of like him talking to himself, being like, oh man, I missed the train. So it did pretty good, right? It was kind of what we were looking for. But now what I could do with this clip is if I wanted, I could download it by clicking on the download button here, because you can download all of your clips right from the site here. And maybe I would just make a cut in DaVinci Resolve right here, you know, as I'm trying to tell the story, because we can see it gets a little weird right there, right? And then the train's going the other way. So that's a little weird. I'd probably cut this clip right here or just create a new prompt and just make it again and continue to tweak it to get it to be whatever I want it to look like. So you would go through and create as many shots as you need. Let me just show you what the project that I showed you in the beginning, what it looks like. So I'm going to come back to home. I'm going to come to my last message here. And you can see I have 9 different shots down here. So for example, if I come to framing, you can see what I put my prompt in for this particular shot. And then for directing, I just kind of put in what I wanted to happen and the character dialogue. And I could just go through and create shots, right? But the important part was that I came up with my shot list, my locations, my character. I came up with all that first before I jumped into Artlist Studio here. Because as you create things, you're going to use credits, and credits is kind of how you pay for the AI tool and what you want to make and all that. So you want to make sure you've got a good plan to go through and a good outline of what you want to create once you jump into Artlist Studio. So that way you're being efficient while you're creating your video. So this is a really cool tool. Now, what are some of the reasons you might want to use this? Well, one, maybe you can't get to a location. You can't create a scene. You can't get out to film something that you need a shot of to put into a particular project that you're working on. You can create that here using this tool, and it's gonna look pretty good. And in most cases, it's probably gonna fill the gap for you where you might need something like that you can't get out and go get a shot of. Maybe you want to just test out some ideas and you don't want to spend the money to have people or actors or spend time or money to rent equipment or whatever. You could just jump into the Artlist Studio here and you can try it out. You can try and create it here and see what it looks like, see if it's what you're going for. And it could really just be like a playground for you to kind of mock up or create things that you might want to actually use in your film or your video that you're working on. And you can also use this to just enhance your videos in little ways that you might want to add a little something that maybe you don't have, or you didn't shoot, or you forgot to shoot. You need to add in a voiceover with the scene or something. You can create that right here in Artlist Studio. So there's a lot of different ways that you can use it. It's a pretty cool tool, and I think it can come in handy for a lot of creators depending on what you need, or if you forgot something or you missed something. There's a lot of different reasons that this tool could come in handy for you. So I'll leave a link down in the description below if you want to check it out. And if you want to sign up for the Artlist Annual AI Pro plan, you'll actually get 50,000 free credits to use to create anything on the Artlist Studio that you might want. And that deal started on April 20th, and it's for a limited time. I don't know how long that is, but if you're interested in trying it out, maybe you want to jump on there and you'll get those 50,000 free credits. So honestly, I think it's a pretty cool tool that Artlist came up with here. It's nice that it's like a little studio all in one spot, but honestly, I think this is just the beginning of what kinds of crazy things that AI can do. And you still need your creativity to get in there and create something, right? It's not creating the ideas for you and all the shots and everything behind it. I mean, it's creating the video, yeah, but you got to have the ideas and you got to come up with the story, the script, and the important stuff, and then let something like Studio here try and create it for you. So I think as we move on into the future here, the possibilities of what you can do with this kind of software is going to be pretty crazy, and I'm excited to see where it goes. So big thank you to Artlist for sponsoring today's video. Great tool you got here. And if you create anything using this tool, I would love to see it. Let me know how I can check it out. Leave a comment down below. Tell me where to go. I want to see what kind of cool stuff you guys can create. All right, with that said, I'm out of here. Going to check out some more DaVinci Resolve 21 stuff, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace.